is from Morning Jolt, which you should check out online. And while you're there, go to hotair.com. Here with us now, weekend editor of hotair.com, Jazz Shaw. I see you all over Twitter, you and Joe, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I got the gift.
Yes, you did.
Who's this from? You? To me?
No, that's obviously not from me. That's from my wife, who's a big fan of yours, the whole find your value, whatever.
Whatever. All right, well, you
It's
up in
knowing
that.
your value.
So, Willie, while you're looking at that, let's talk about Scott Brown.
She does think Joe's too mean to you.
What happened here, Scott?
So Scott Brown facing a bit of an uphill climb in his bid to unseat New Hampshire's Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen in the fall. Despite moving to the Granite State 13 weeks ago, the former Massachusetts senator going town to town in an attempt to convince voters he is qualified to represent them. Right?
Yeah.
A recent interview, though, with the Associated Press may not exactly help that cause.
He really laid it out for
He's talking about his candidacy. Brown, quoted by the AP, as saying, quote, "Do I have the best credentials? Probably not, because, you know, whatever. But I have long and strong ties to this state. People know that."
So you were up there, we were up there, and saw Scott Brown. How do people in New Hampshire, how did they react to him?
Not the way I'm seeing on TV. I don't know how many folks you talk to, but Scott Brown seems to be the hot ticket in Washington,
right?
In New York City. But when you get to New Hampshire, we sat and talked to several of the state party leaders there. So Scott Brown, and they're like,
Really?
Oh yeah.
So you found ambivalence up there, huh?
It was ranging from ambivalence to a couple people who just said, "Guy's not from New Hampshire." Another one said, "He's wrong on guns."
Well, isn't that what we hear all the time about New Hampshire, is that you've got to know the state, you've got to knock on doors, you've got to, it is door-to-door, hand-to-hand political combat. So it would seem that New Hampshire would be one of the last states you would expect somebody who could be accused of, quote, carpetbagging.
Well, he's not carpetbagging very far.
No.
Well, he's
Massachusetts.
by the way, he's had a house there for a long time. I'm just saying, if you're running against him, that's the argument, right?
Who else are you going to run, though? I mean, we talked to Bob Smith, a couple of the people that want to run for the seat on the GOP side, but he draws all the money, Scott Brown.
So what do you sense among the base going into 2014? Does this feel like 2010? Leading up to a big Republican victory? Does it feel more like 2012? When you were up in New Hampshire and the people you're talking to, what about the energy level? Because I've heard some people on the left say the energy level on the far left is gearing up too.
It might be. It doesn't feel like 2010, but now that Nate Silver seems to think we're going to take, you know, what do you say, 5 or 6 seats in the Senate? If you've got Nate Silver saying it, it might be a pretty good year, but it's a political eternity between now and November. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who do you like? Who do you like from because you watch this every day?
Who do I like for?
What candidates for a Republican potential presidential nomination or back?
Wow.
Well, let's talk specifically Jeb. I was down in Florida last week. There are a lot of people talking about Jeb's operation is starting to gear up in a really serious way. How would Jeb Bush do in a Republican primary?
Amazingly, Jeb seems to, at least with our readers, with the hardcore conservatives, Jeb seems to have become one of the moderates, the disdained moderates. But I think he could do well. Do I like him? I think he'd be a great president. I would just be dismayed that we're going to have another Bush or Clinton.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, is there nobody else?
What is the specific? You know, I knew Jeb very well. He was he's one of the most conservative leaders of a big state I've ever seen in my life. Extraordinarily conservative, moderately temperamental, what I always talk about. Is there a specific issue that the hardcore base that you're talking about, other than Common Core, that people criticize Jeb for?
Probably it's going to have to be spending. I mean, that's all anybody really talks about at the end of the day. There's discussions about foreign policy and social issues. Where is he on abortion? But the debt keeps going up, and that's what we keep hearing. Who is going to hold the line? Not to reduce the creep, but to actually turn it around and start cutting it.
Right. Who is that person?
What did you get?
Well, what's your wife's name?
George.
Georgie?
Georgie.
Just George.
George, I love the gloves that she knit me because I'm always cold on the set. Thank you very much,
made those?
George. She made them.
Oh my gosh! Look at
I
that.
love them.
And she
Thank
said they have no
you.
fingers, so
My
you can operate the
daughter's going to
phone.
steal these.
The operator. Oh, your daughter will still does.
Everything.
If you could bring a pair of those next time for Joe, he'd be really appreciative.
Thank you so much, Jazz. All right, hotair.com's Jazz Shaw. Thank you. At least someone in your family likes me. Yay. Go,
I don't
George.
dislike you.
Know your value.
Say hi to Ed.
You
Hello.
love me.
What a great guy.
Hey, thanks for
We
having
need
me.
to get him here.
Yesterday-
Great to have you here.
Yesterday, we show you how we get our morning jolt every day, and now we want to know how you get yours. Tweet us what gets you moving in the morning with hashtag Morning Jolt, and check out the full video at morningjolt.msnbc.com.
That's really good. These are nice.
Love them.